I'll do my best.
But yeah, it does look like a harder speed game. I won't lie about that. Like some of the tricks look pretty hard, but I feel like just the game as a casual game looks like it would be something that's really fun. I mean, all this is doing is helping me get really good at Hub 1, so I guess this is okay. I think I'm getting a lot of, like, some consistency with Hub 1 right now. Which shouldn't be seen as a bad thing. It's probably a good thing.
This is it.
The tricks are just difficult. Watch Shift a little more, and he was explaining some of them. Oh yeah, I watched some videos of Shift explaining, like, I watched like some of the tutorial videos for Shift just to get a better understanding of it, because the number one thing I don't like about speedrunning is like I don't really enjoy watching speed games when I don't know what's going on. Like that's the reason why I watch so many Jak runners, because like I understand the Jak games, I understand the mechanics a little bit. It's not really fun when you have no idea what's really going on, at least in my opinion. So like, and so I can watch Josh a little bit better. I tried to watch some tutorial videos and learn more about the game, and that's when I started realizing, like, yeah, this game's pretty cool, and the tricks seem pretty complicated. But I've never played the game, so I can't really be sure.
This is it.
Yeah, a lot of one-frame stuff, true, yeah, because I remember asking Josh if one-frames are, like, the same. Like, is it the same type of difficulty in each game? Like, does getting good at one-frames in Jak help you in, like, a game like SpongeBob? But I think he was basically saying they're kind of different, you know?
Good training, boys.
It's the same concept, but they work differently depending on what the situation, you know?
No problem.
Because I never learned one frames in Jak. I've done, like, I think I've done a few of them, but, like, I don't feel confident with it, so I don't usually go for them.
Fine. Adventure.
I don't think it's worth going for them yet.
While you're out adventuring, why don't you make yourself useful? My darn green eco-collectors are clogged up again. Head out to the far side of the beach and clear them out, why don't you? Follow the lamps. They'll take you right there. Now, all of you, get out of here!
Yeah, and you're kind of looking at different things, I guess. So, like, in Jak, at least the one frame that I practiced was the one, like, at Final Boss, like, on the blue eco pads. Like, I practiced that a little bit. But, like, that's gonna feel different than doing, like, a one frame in SpongeBob where you're looking for something different, I guess. But it's the same idea. Because, like, for the one frame with the jump pad, people time it with the final boss, like the way the final boss moves, or, like, with the metronome. But obviously you're not gonna be looking for the same things, but I would assume once you learn a one frame in one game, it might be easier to bring it to another. But yeah. And like the way a game performs has an impact, so like if a game runs like at a different frame rate or something, that's gonna have an impact on how you execute the one frame as well. Like just stuff like that are having an impact.
This is it.
Yeah, I didn't prioritize one frames because I feel like, in my opinion, like they're not gonna be the determining fact. Like I try to not, like the biggest thing I try to tell myself getting into speedrunning is to not focus on saving like every little second possible. Like to me, that's like the biggest way to fall into a trap, at least in the beginning, because like you're just gonna get super stressed over like a few seconds here and there. Like it's not worth getting stressed over a few seconds of time saved when like there are things that matter more that would save you more time that you can focus your attention on. Like for me, my goal is to get, huh? But like in my opinion, my goal was to focus on, you know, trying to get my tricks more consistent, because those are the things that are going to stop me from PBing most of the time. And that was true. Like those are always the things that mess me up the most. So I try to focus my attention on that stuff more than like just focusing hardcore on movement, because movement matters 100%. But like the movement is going to give you like a few seconds here and there. So like the better I get, I want to start focusing more and more on making my movement better. But I feel like at my skill level now, like just focusing on tricks, trying to get like overall consistency, you know, not, you know, timing my inputs better, so when I execute tricks, I can work on the muscle memory to get them more consistent, like stuff like that are the things that I focused on, because I didn't want to become someone who gets really stuck on like, oh, I missed a second here, and oh, this isn't as fast as, you know, what I see that player doing. Like, I didn't want to get stuck in that trap. Like, I feel like that can really mess you up early on. Almost messed that up.
This is it.
Well, yeah, I feel like Jak 2 is a better example of that, because I feel like for Jak 1, none of the tricks are extremely hard that you can't learn before you start running. So, like, for me, when I first started running, I was using, like, Josh's tutorial, right, for 100%. And, like, I just took a Saturday and went over, like, every single trick, like, went over the entire run so I would help myself memorize the route. So I went over the entirety of the run, and I learned every trick as I went through it. So I wouldn't, like, for instance, if I get the Blue Sage cutscene skip, I would practice Blue Sage cutscene skip until I got it once, and then I'd move on with the route. Just so I can make sure that I can move on with, so I know the full route and what I'm required to do. So that's how I basically learned Hundo in the beginning. I just went through the whole thing, learned every trick, and then moved on. I didn't practice it too much and try to get consistent, because obviously I'm not going to be consistent right now. It's more important to learn the full route, so then I can eventually do the whole thing, and I can just get consistency later on. So that's kind of, that was my approach in the beginning. But for Jak 2, oh, that's how you learn runs too? Oh, okay. That's how I was going to try to do it for Jak 2 as well, but I realized, like, there's certain things that a beginner just shouldn't do in Jak 2. I don't feel like that applies in Jak 1. I feel like in Jak 1, if you're dedicated enough, you can learn every single thing that a top runner does. You just gotta be realistic and realize your movement's not gonna be good, your timing's not gonna be good, you're not gonna be consistent, but you can learn everything that you see. You're just not gonna be the best at it. So you can start doing runs, but you only know some of the movement, or you're not consistent at everything, but you know the route, you know the tricks. That's kind of how I think of it, if that makes sense. Well, that's how I thought of it when I went into it. So for Jak 2, I realized that, okay, there's just some things I probably shouldn't learn right away. But I think Zarufis gave me like a VOD of like Vaser or something, doing like different movement and strats, and I've been learning off of that video instead of like the stuff that everyone else uses. So it's kind of the same concept. Like I'm gonna eventually get to the point where I'm doing what the top runners do if I stick with it. Yeah, that's what I meant. Because I'm trying to learn any percent. So for Jak 2, so like I'm not gonna do like all the same movement or tricks that you guys, no, not movement, but tricks that you guys do. But I'm still gonna learn it that same way, where I go through it, I don't move on until I've executed something at least once, and then I don't expect to know it right away. I realize that I'm gonna have to go through it a few times to get it consistent. If that makes sense. Yeah, like those 5 seconds. What is going on with this boosted today? Those 5 seconds aren't gonna impact me that much, if you know what I mean. Like that's what I was saying. Like caring about like a few seconds here and there isn't worth it in the beginning. And I feel like some people may do that to themselves, where like, they go into it and they're like, oh, I have to do it just like this top runner, or I have to do it just like this person, or something like that, and they put too much stress on themselves and they make it like a more stressful process. My fear was to do that. But I've watched a lot of different speedrunners. Oh, I messed it up. I was still too slow. I've watched a lot of different speedrunners, and the way I see them respond to things, I just tried to learn how they respond to things and try to help myself if I get into speedrunning. and know like what I probably should or shouldn't do, if that makes sense.
This
I
is
try to
it.
learn from others' mistakes before I make the same ones, if that makes sense.
Them monsters patrolling the ocean took a bite out of me fishing rig.
I don't need those 5 seconds right now. I can get them in the future. If I really start getting really into Jak 2, I can always learn those things. Yeah, like lap skips and stuff like that.
You think you can do better? Try scooping up river fish with a tiny net.
Hey Mike, how you doing? Thank you for stopping by today. I appreciate you giving a... Wow, that's not what I was I appreciate the good luck.
Use my speedboat.
I was trying to make it like a long, complicated sentence for no reason.
There are 2 types of good fish to catch.
Yeah, so that was my mentality when I first started speedrunning, and I think it helped me a lot. Like, I don't get tripped up over the little teeny mistakes. Obviously, that boosted I keep messing up is irritating me because I shouldn't be messing that up at this point. But that's a common thing with me, where I mess up really easy things for no reason.
Even a one of them boogers.
Like, the average beginner won't be messing up that boosted, but for some reason I am now. It happens.
Here comes a big one.
But, like, getting tripped up over 5 seconds...
Steady boy.
And I feel like it's another thing that you start to realize the more runners you watch, because I've tried to watch a lot of runners, especially in the Jak community. You see that the little things that people get upset over don't matter that much, depending on the category, of course. So, like, for Hundo... Like, this is no offense to you at all, Mike, because I've watched your Hundo PB a lot. Like, you have, like, a lot of little teeny mistakes, but you still PB because overall you performed really well. Like, I hope that's not mean, or comes off mean, but, like, it was really eye-opening to see that not everything has to be perfect, and you can still get a really good run. So you think that stuff matters more, but when you start seeing more runners make mistakes that you make, or you see them, you know, not being perfect all the time, you realize that, okay, I don't need to be perfect like that either, at my skill level.
You caught 200 pounds of fish. Not bad for a couple of landlubbers.
So it's just, that kind of helped me stop being hard on myself with the little things. And I feel like it's really important for people to understand that, because it can be really tough in the beginning when you keep messing up and you're like, oh, I see this runner do this perfectly every time. Like, that still happens to me with, like, piggyback and, like, puzzle skips. Like, I still get a little bit annoyed at the fact that I messed them up. And, like, I get sad. I'm like, am I really going to always struggle with this? Maybe I do, but the point is, not everyone is perfect at those things all the time. Sometimes they mess up. They just mess up with me more often. Unfortunately for me. I almost feel like just going to Hub 2. I'm tired of being in Hub 1 at this point. I want to get to Hub 2 life. And another cool thing is to go and look at a runner's, like, run history on, like, speedrun.com. If they uploaded all of them, I think that can be a really big eye-opener, too. I like to do that sometimes. Just to see, like, where another runner came from. Like, what was their progress? Like, did they mess up in the same ways? You know, what were their times? Like, what did their run look like when they were above sub 2 or when they're under sub 2? It can be really cool just to get that perspective and realize that, you know, this person that you might think is so superior, they also were in the same position you were. Maybe not experiencing the same exact things you experienced, but, like, they were there. So I feel like that can be really helpful sometimes. Just to see, just to gain some perspective. I'm so glad I didn't really mess this up this time. I don't know what was happening last time. Couldn't tell ya. Oh no, this is not gonna work, is it? How did that still work? I thought I punched and messed up the space. See, stuff like that will come with experience. The more experience you get, the less you have to ask questions like that. I hope. I hope.
This is it.
But I don't know if you're still here, Morris, but I see on Twitter that you were playing a game called Control, so if you wouldn't mind sharing more about that, I'm kind of curious about it. Oh, let's see. Oof, I thought my spacing was off there. That was about to be scary. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. Bad. That was so bad. I almost fell off and did that mistake that really sucks where you fall off there. Oh, it sucks. It was painful as a beginner making that mistake repeatedly. Oh, so that game is much shorter? Because I don't remember looking at the times. I just saw you PBing a lot. That's another reason why I just want to get like a sub 150 for this category so I can go back to no LTS for a little bit and like just focus on a shorter category. I feel like it will be much easier for a bit to take a break from Hundo.
This is it.
But I feel like I'm not going to be happy if I do it now. If that makes sense. Like, I gotta get my goal life. But sometimes it could be nice taking a break from a really long category. I don't think Jak 2 any percent is long, but it's longer than probably the games you're playing. Okay, so I started learning for the 80% run of the game. Nice. Nice. Hold on, I gotta just make sure I don't keep messing this part up. Okay, there we go. Good. It's not as punishing to do and run. Yeah, Jak 2 is really hard. I can see why Zarukas struggled as much to get to the level he's at in that game. Not a very... It seems like a really stressful game just from the little bit I've done from, like, with it. Yeah, I see what you mean. Sometimes it can be really nice having another game to play. For that exact reason. It's kind of why I wanted to learn Jak 2 in addition to this, but I feel like Jak 2 is probably not the best choice. Maybe Sly would be better as that. Like, you would ideally want it to be a game that doesn't put you in a lot of stress, and I don't know if Jak 2 is the best choice for that. I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe other people have a different opinion on that, but I wanted that to be Jak 2, but I'm like, is it? Is that the best game for that? I'm not too sure. I just wanted to have a game that if I still have goals for Jak 1, but I feel like I always will, I have another game I could switch to if I'm really just getting stressed out, if that makes sense. Kind of like what you're doing with Control, which is a really good thing to do. If you don't have a lot of time, you don't want to be too serious right now, you have another game you can focus on. And I wanted that to be Jak 2 because I feel like Jak 2 is a game that I'm going to have to accept that I need to be really serious about, so it'll be a nice way to switch gears, if that makes sense, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I understand what you're saying about Jak 2, especially if you're juggling with school and stuff. I'm just not sure if Jak 2 is the best game for that. It may be, because as you can see, I haven't been streaming Jak 2 at all because Whip was telling me that I'm trying to do too much on stream, so I need to kind of like tone it down and figure out what I want to focus on. And I know right now my passion is in Jak 1 and reaching the goals I have here. But I kind of feel like I'm always going to have Jak 1 goals, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, how can I bring in another speed game if I want to bring in another speed game? Like, how does that process work? If I still have goals for the one that got me into it in the first place. I'm trying to figure out how to bring that in, but he was thinking that I was spending too much time trying to do too much at once. So if I want to do Jak 2, I feel like my energy is best spent just getting the hover more consistent. Because my hover was starting to become an issue, consistency-wise. So I felt like it was really worth just focusing on hovering and getting that more consistent and not trying to do too much with too many games. Because I'm someone who has a hard time focusing on one thing. I try to do too much all the time. This is a common problem. Sometimes I need someone to be like, hey, you just need to stop. You need to focus on one thing. Put your attention and your seriousness there, and then when you're ready, you can kind of give more of that to another game, which would be Jak 2 or Sly or something. But yeah, Sly might fit me better for that purpose, which is a good point you're making. I feel like Control is doing that really well for you, which is great. I'm happy to hear that. But Sly doesn't seem to be as stressful as a game as Jak 2 is. So like, if I'm getting stressed with my main game, I can easily just be like, okay, let's do some Sly. Or something.
I thank you. And the entire village will thank
Yeah, I
you.
agree with that, Morris.
Boys,
I do.
You have restored power
I try to
the
split
village
my attention
and
too much in
guaranteed
too
my
many
re-election.
directions.
And for that, my boy,
And it can get really bad really quickly.
This is it.
Freak. That was dumb.
So, you want to make a contribution?
You know the feel?
A sizable one, I hope. Yeah. Oh, it is a sizable contribution. I just hope this power cell.
Yeah, I just have focusing issues. I really do. Just gotta be honest. Oh, okay. It's good that you understand that, because I feel like sometimes it's hard to express, because I feel like it seems like everyone else just has what they want or what they want to focus on. They just have it all together, so they're not always trying to do too much. But I feel like for me, I feel like I like too many things, and I want to do too many things. Like I have too many aspirations that my focus can just get scattered everywhere. Which isn't really great. Isn't really that good.
Would you be kind enough to loan your dear old uncle
But it
90
happens.
precursor orbs?
So I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that. Hey Nico, welcome back. Hold up, I can probably get this in time.
Welcome back.
There we go.
You have the precursor orbs that we agreed on.
Wow, Morris, that's literally exactly how I feel. That's exactly the same in every way. What you just said. What is the kids saying nowadays? That's a mood, or no, that's not it. That's relatable. Sounds more like language I would use. That's a mood thing. Doesn't sound like me. It sounds too edgy. Whatever edgy is supposed to mean. I feel like people just use edgy everywhere now. Even when it doesn't apply or make sense. Uh-oh, are we gonna actually roll jump every time? Oh, okay. Mood was right? Oh, okay, okay. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. I did edit videos for a long time. Then I did a lot of Photoshop stuff. Wow. No, no. Okay, I thought Jak was gonna fall. I was gonna be sad. I hate when I fall into the water there. Because that fish comes out, and then you gotta hurry up. Uh-oh. Hold on, I gotta focus on this for a second. Is that actually gonna work? No, it's not. It's not gonna work at all. Okay, that's of course, when I think it doesn't work, it works. That's right. That's perfect. Yes. Nice! I wasted time there, though, probably. Yeah, Morris, what you're describing is literally me. I don't know how you're that accurate. That's literally how I am. That was my childhood. Trying to do too much and never getting good at anything because I didn't know what I wanted. I feel like I'm still like that in certain ways, and it's really not good. I honestly feel like speedrunning has been a very nice medium for me, because it's been like one of those things where I actually feel like I 100% feel like I know why I'm doing this. With other things, I feel like I'm doing it, and I'm drawn to it, and I don't always know why. It's really intense sometimes. Hey, Red? Red? Is that another name that you like to be called by? Nico? Oh, make me think of the Pokemon Red guy. freak. Look at that bonk. But yeah, that's kind of really cool, Morris. When someone describes themselves and you're really like, that's me though. And honestly, a lot of the same things too.
This is it.
Oh, I thought I was gonna roll jump by mistake. How come I keep... Okay, I get the bird. You can trigger the bird up here? I'm actually surprised. That was weird. It looked like that was delayed trigger there. Oh yeah, I remember going to your YouTube account. I remember that. You're right, you're right. I remember seeing that. Yep. Gotcha. So what do you prefer, Nico or Red? Or do you not mind? Oh no, no! That's bad movement. Can we do this in a good time? No, focus on this. Yeah, but I hope you find some clarity, but I do feel like speedrunning... Oh no, that's bad. I feel like speedrunning for me has been one of those things where I just 100% knew. I feel like I'm in a good place with speedrunning at least, but obviously it's not the same as other skill building. So I still feel like I'm sometimes struggling with that type of stuff. Like what's best for me and, you know, what should I be focusing my attention on? How should my free time be spent? And stuff like that. I'm still trying to... Oh no, I got stuff. I'm still trying to figure all that out. So yeah, if you have a way that... If you find anything, Nico... I mean, not Nico, sorry. If you find anything, Morris, that you feel like helps you with all that, I would love to hear it. I would love to get some of that insight. It doesn't matter how old you are, you can still struggle with this type of stuff. It's not easy figuring it out. Oh no, when you lose time though.
This is it.
I just want to make sure I'm calling you what you want to be called, that's all. But yeah, I can be calling you Nico, no problem. Please, egg. Please, egg. Egg! Frick you, egg! Why? Why does this goddamn egg hate me today? Egg is like, I don't like you though.
Good job. Now meet
This
me
egg
down
is
here by the
killing,
egg.
like, takes all my time away every time.
Oh my.
I need to
I
practice
hope the
egg
board
again.
feels okay. Here's a power cell for your valor.
Don't really have anything that helps. I just stuck with the things that are seemingly most important to me.
Oh no! No!
Yeah, that's kind of like what I'm trying to do right now, Morris. So I got it.
It thinks you're its mama.
Oh wow, Mike. Yeah, that makes sense. It does. I miss philosophy so much. I really do. I really enjoyed doing that in school.
I'll take this little chick back to the village with me and work with the sage.
We only started at the same time because I failed the egg. But feel free to say good luck to Jazz. I like to try to have a stream in the background that I lurk in, but I wasn't able to get that set up. I forgot. I don't think when I started anyone else was on. I don't think I was able to.
This is it.
Yeah, Morris, that's super awesome. I don't think I'm able to be a teacher, so I couldn't really go that route, but if you do, I'm gonna be rooting for you. That's super awesome, and I hope you enjoy it if you do end up going that route. I really loved and adored all my philosophy teachers. All of them taught me so much, and I'm grateful for the experiences I had with philosophy. And I hope that you can have a similar impact on your students as well.
You really are the best. Here, take this power cell. I won't need it now that I have my
Like, I seriously feel like philosophy teachers are unlike most teachers I've experienced in life. Like, you get the feeling where, like, a teacher believes in you in a way? this is gonna sound all cheesy and stuff, but I feel like almost all of my philosophy teachers believed in something that I didn't even see, if that makes sense. Like, I felt like they believed in me in a way that I didn't understand, but I appreciated it a lot. So I'm really grateful for that, because that's something that's new to me. I never really had many great teaching experiences. So, like, to have that with the philosophy department, that's really cool. And I'm always gonna be grateful for that. Yes, philosophy, Nico.
Who awakens the oracle? Wait.
Yeah, Josh mentioned that. Wants to become a math teacher. Yeah, and if anyone wants to become a teacher, I really hope that they can. I just hope that you're passionate about it, and that you hope to make an impact on your students. Because I've had math teachers that had an impact on me in positive and negative ways, and every single time I've had a positive experience like that, I'm always like extremely grateful for it, because I've had so many bad teacher experiences too. Like, I've had all over the spectrum of experiences with teachers. So, like, when a teacher makes me feel... When a teacher has a big impact on me, it always changes the way I approach a subject. Forever. Like, I feel like it's a lasting effect on the way I approach a subject for the rest of my life. So the fact that the majority of my philosophy teachers had that positive impact on me is why I feel like I will always have a special place in my heart for philosophy. Not the only reason. Like, I think I was... Not to make it seem like I'm... Not... Hopefully this doesn't come out the wrong way, but... I feel like I was one of the people doing philosophy my whole life. I just didn't know it was called philosophy, if that makes sense. I feel like I was a natural fit for philosophy. Like me overthinking everything, and I never take anything at face value. Like, the way I think about things, I feel like just fit with philosophy. So like
So try to keep her cool.
Let me just catch up real quick so I don't ramble again, because I can just go on and on with this.
500 degrees and it's over.
Yeah, that's great, Morris. I'm glad you had a good impact with your that you had the same experience with your philosophy teacher.
So keep a lookout for jumps to keep you off the hot ground. I've also released several blue cooling balloons you can use to drop the shield's temperature quickly. Oh, and when you get across, don't forget to activate the teleport gate in the blue sage.
But yeah, I see what you mean, Nico. I think that it's finding a good balance.
Good luck.
But basically when I got into, like, here's how it works. Like, I was doing computer science in school, right? Which, that's a whole another topic to go on about one of these days. But, so, like, one of the required classes was, I think it was, like, an ethics class, which was, like, I don't know how everyone else's schools work, but in my school, you would have, like, you would have certain classes that kind of branch into other majors. And you have your general classes and stuff like that, but, like, sometimes your major requires you to take some of those classes that branch into other places. So, like, one of those classes was an ethics class, which is a philosophy class. And so I was in that class, and I ended up really enjoying it. Like, the whole process that we were going through there, it felt nothing like computer science.
This is it.
So a lot of the kids there kind of didn't really want to be there, but I was enjoying the whole experience. Like, I felt like I was in the right place for the first time ever. And the funniest thing about it, I kind of messed that up, but the funniest thing about it was, like, at the end of that class, the teacher approached me and was like, you know, I think that you would be a great candidate for philosophy. Would you consider taking another philosophy class? And I was just, like, mind blown by that. Like, I couldn't believe that in a classroom that I felt like I felt kind of like at home in a way, that the teacher felt that way too about something. Like, there's something about what I did that made them feel that I was a good fit for philosophy, but I never felt like I drew any attention to myself, so it must have just been from my work. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that teacher would be the teacher that ends up, you know, getting me to take more philosophy classes, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful for that teacher because I wouldn't have ever realized that I love philosophy if I never had that class and that teacher never came up to me and was like, you know, you should consider doing this. Yeah, I have a hard time understanding that other people can see that type of stuff from you. That it doesn't always come across to me that that's how I'm expressing myself differently in a different environment, if that makes sense. But yeah, you can share your experience, Nico.
Yeah, lightning.
Always feel free to share.
We can. Maybe for 2 power cells.
Nice try. But I would be willing to part with another power cell.
But I couldn't tell that I felt like something in the class, but I couldn't tell that anyone else would know that that's how I felt, if that makes sense.
Oh, you have the orbs. Here's a power cell we agreed upon.
Oh yeah, I definitely got those vibes from other students, I'm not gonna lie. There were definitely a lot of kids there that were like, I'm just here because I'm supposed to be here and I have to take this class. Like, you could tell that there are students that were like that there. And I don't blame them, because I felt the same way about other classes, but just not that one, you know?
No, not another hero. I lost my short.
Like, I felt like I really enjoyed the class.
Trust me, the smart money's on the monster. That wager pretty much tapped me out. So, I got a proposal. Bring me 90 orbs to get me back on my feet.
I'm like, you're a really smart person. If you ask me, you were able to one day open a company because you got it in you.
I do have one more bet on mine. My big
yeah, that's really good, Nico. Are you interested in business?
Dead Man's Gorge in the precursor basin, and I'll get a pretty payoff. For that, I'll get.
But yeah, if you have an experience like that, I feel like it really can change you and has a really big impact on you. I think sometimes teachers don't realize. I don't know, maybe they do, but I feel like some teachers don't realize how much of an impact they can have on a student. So I feel like some of them might take it for granted. But like, some teachers know how much of an impact they have, so they try to, you know, really help you out because they know this is probably gonna, you know, have an impact. So why not be supportive in this way, if that makes sense? So I'm glad you had that experience, Nico, because it really does make a difference sometimes. And even if you don't go on to do that thing, you know that somebody saw something in you, saw that you have potential in something, and they were willing enough to share it with you. Because not everyone wants it. Like, sometimes people feel that way about things, but they don't want to share it, if that makes sense. So I feel like it's always really, really amazing when someone's willing to share that thought with you, because it could change your life. I'm gonna try to read that next block. It's really hard to read in Basin, it really is, and I probably shouldn't. But I just want to make sure I get the end of what you shared, because I know that's really important. That's why I want to open the business different. Oh, yeah. That's good. So you have goals to do that thing. You have goals to do the thing that the teacher told you were good at, and that's great. And alright, Morris, no worries. I was so bad at, like, doing skincare type stuff. I was really bad at taking care of myself, period. For a long time in life, and I'm still trying to get better at that type of stuff. It's hard. But that's a topic for another day, too. I have too many topics that I don't want to get into because they can get really, they might get weird. So I gotta make sure I'm filtering my own self and trying to put things out at the right time before it weirds out people. But, I will try to get there and read what you just said, Nico, when I can. It's probably gonna be after Purple Rings, because Purple Rings is, something that just needs my focus. Requires focus. I'm gonna go for this right now. I might regret this, but I'm gonna go for it. I think I have 4 right now. I think the goal is to try and eventually upgrade to 5. I think that's what most runners use. Most of the top runners do for Hundo. I think I missed 2. Okay, that's okay. I'm trying out my other controller, and this controller has a looser L stick and a tighter R stick. My other controller is the opposite. So I'm noticing that all the mistakes I'm making with the L stick right now is because I'm trying to get used to this one again. I'm trying to build the ability to switch controllers no matter what their differences are. So that's why I'm making myself switch between the controllers. I feel like it'll help me if I ever have to get a new controller or something like that. It'll help me learn to adapt. So I adapted to the other one. So I'm going to readapt to this one, which is the one I started speedrunning with. This is the one I got really accustomed to. It was really hard to use the other one at all. So I think I'm getting better at it, but it's just hard sometimes to switch between the different styles and stuff like that. Each controller is unique. The company wants to buy a business card. They give the content to the printing factory. The printing factory prints them. I buy it for $10 or euros. I'm not sure what yours would be. But you're putting it in a different spot. I want to make sure I'm reading that right. Can I get him early here? Or am I going to wait? I'm not going to get him here. And I sold it to the company who gave me the contract and sell the cards for $15. That sounds interesting. Something that I really want to get into in the future, I gotta figure out the best way to do it, which I may be able to get your input on this because it's kind of like a business thing. I'm not the most business savvy person, but like I really want to get into flipping things, right? That's something I want to start seriously doing. But right now, there's a few factors that I'm not going to go into that make that hard to do. But like the really interesting thing for me is going to like fairs and like, oh freak, I didn't see this. It's going to like fairs and events, getting items for like 10, 15 bucks, even cheaper than that, like around that range, and then reselling them for like much more than that because people sometimes sell, you know, garage sales and stuff. They sell things for much, much, much under their worth. So it's about learning to build that eye and be like, okay, I know that this item is worth way more than what this person is selling it for. So I'm going to buy it from them at this cheap price and then flip it for much more and make a profit. It's something that I'm very, very interested in doing. And I'm going to look into doing... I want to look into the best way to financially do it. Because you gotta also factor in travel costs and stuff like that, but that's something that really interests me that I'm definitely gonna be looking into. Something you can just do on your free time, just, you know, go out, look for things that are cheap, resell it. Definitely something I find very fascinating, but it's not like a business, but it's definitely a business idea.
This is it!
This is the biggest reason why I say I'm not business savvy. I'm missing a lot of what you're saying, Nico, but I'm gonna have to try to get back to... Oh, wait, no, I'm not missing too much of that. I thought I was missing more than I thought. It's really hard to read in Basin. Hold up. Yeah, I would never thought I could do it, because... Oh, most people would... Okay, so people didn't believe in you. Okay. Yeah, I know the feels. Trust me, I'm telling you. I've had a lot of bad experiences with peers and adults in my life. Maybe one of these days we can go more into detail with that type of stuff, but I basically know where you're coming from with that, which is why the positive experiences I've had with teachers have helped me so much, because it's a complete contrast from some of the other things I've experienced. But yeah, but to mention the other thing, like what I was saying and what you replied with, this is why I always say I'm not really business-minded, or I'm not a good fit for doing business, because I'm a really nice person, and nice people don't do well with business, because there's things that you just gotta do that aren't nice to succeed in business. And feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be just wrong. Like I said, I'm not business savvy, but I've recently developed an interest in business stuff. But every time I do my research, I realize that in order to succeed, I'm gonna have to screw someone over in some way, shape, or form. It's just the way it works. But I could be wrong. But yeah, so basically with the whole flipping thing, you're exporting people by saying, I see that you're selling this for way less. Instead of telling you that you could sell this for more, I'm just gonna buy it from you and resell it for more myself. And someone like me who's really nice, it's hard to imagine myself doing that. But the way I feel better about that option is because that's what they're selling it for. I'm not telling them. I can't really tell someone what to sell something for. I'm just buying it for what you have it there for. So like I feel like it's a little bit less messy, but there's a lot of other business ideas I've explored that like every single time I think about doing them, I feel so bad and I can't do it. I know it can make a lot of money, or not a lot, I know it can make money for me, and I know it could be good money-wise, but I can't, money is not, it's never been something that I put above other people in a way. It's hard for me to do that, which is why I suck at business, if that makes sense.
Here's a power cell to help you out.
Yeah, like what I'm saying, it's hard to be nice and do business stuff, but to me, the way to handle it is to find a way to do business that doesn't hurt, that I feel like I can still give value to people without hurting too many. So yeah, I'm buying something, like with the flipping idea, I feel the best about. There's so many things I've thought through, but the flipping thing seems the most likely to hurt because someone's selling something, they think it's worth that price, so I'm gonna buy it for the price they think it's worth. And I'm gonna sell it for what I think it's worth. So I feel like it's okay in that sense, because everyone's doing what they feel is right. Everyone's doing what they believe in.
I offer you a power cell.
And I feel like I'm still not going to put it at outrageous prices either. I'd be pretty reasonable what I truly think something's worth, but obviously priced at something that would actually sell. But I just think that whole business perspective is very, very fascinating. And I want to learn about it and learn to build a perspective that's like, just because you're making money and profit off of people doesn't mean that you're not nice or doesn't mean that you're an evil person. I'm trying to not think of it in that way. But some ideas do come off that way, I'm not gonna lie. Because you know for a fact you have to somewhat kind of mess with people to make a profit. But that's kind of just how it works, so it's like kind of just accepting it is the hard part. Oh wow, okay, I've been consistent at that, but never mind. Oof, I've been talking a lot, my throat was getting all dry. I appreciate it, I like having conversations though. But yeah, since you're interested in business, I'd love to hear more of your perspective on that, if you want to share it. That's not where I'm supposed to roll jump. This is my left stick being looser than I'm used to. I was blaming it on the left stick, but it's actually the fact that I'm not... Okay, we're not getting this on time now. It's actually the fact that the left stick isn't as comfortable right now. That I gotta get used to it. Getting it right back again. Okay, we didn't get stuck. Yeah, I'm trying to go for a pretty long stream today, but good luck with the stream if you do stream. I can always talk to you about it anywhere. I need to focus. Hey Morris, welcome back. I can't do the command right now, but welcome back. And Whip is taking a nap really quick. What? That looks right. Whoa! Almost just went through the wall. Where would that put me?
This is it.
I really wonder where that would put me. Like, would I, like, do that thing where you fall through the world type of thing for, like, a really long time? That would be really bad. I could have done it, but I got scared. Oh, this is slow split right here. Hoping they broke it. Oh no, really? Okay. I gotta accept defeat. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back in real life. Whip. Thanks. Oh, well, I was saying that because I was trying to, Morris came back and I couldn't do the welcome back command. So we were talking about that if you wanted some context. There's enough time. Yes, there is. No, dude. Missed it, of course. I need to, like, practice the wall clipping part. No, dude. Oh, come on. I'm messing up my boostings here way too often. If you're asking why do I do it this way, it's because I can't accept not doing it the actual speedrun way. It's kind of like a weird quirk of mine that is not good. That would be the one thing I would tell beginners not to copy that I do. But it's my way of saying I'm not going to accept runs if I don't do it the way that I learned how to do it. But yeah, if you want to just get PBs, then you can just go ahead and do backups. That's the better way to do it. But I'm stubborn in that way. Which I'm okay with. Like I said, I've lost so many runs to the fact that I've messed up gondola skip and didn't want to accept the run anymore. And most people would probably PB off of those runs, but that was a personal choice I made. To me, that's an okay personal choice.
This is it.
Oh, more. I didn't know you did Jak 1. Wait, you have times on Jak 1 for no LTS? I might just be really ridiculous right now and just forgot. That's cool though. Well, they're talking about this in the server. What do you think is the hardest trick of Hundo? Because like that's in Hundo and no LTS. Would you say that that was the hardest thing aside from the spider cave boosted? I felt like that was an interesting topic. It was mentioned in the Discord server because someone was struggling with learning Hundo and like learning piggyback, and most people would say that piggyback is the hardest thing in Hundo, but I don't know what my opinion of that is yet. Oh, you did offline. Nice, that's interesting. I didn't know you did that. That's cool. It'd be cool to see a stream of some Jak 1. Morris Jak 1. No, come on. Vent clip, why? dude. Why does this happen? Ugh. I feel like I'm going in the same spot I always go in, but it doesn't work. Okay, I'm just gonna kill my run here. I literally can't go through the wall right now. Is it over here? Apparently it was over there. I was too much to the left. Oh, that's such an annoyance of me. I always mess up like that vent clip for no reason sometimes. Yet when I was oh, I got pushed back. Did you guys see that? The lurker like pushed me back. That was weird. And hold on, I'll try to read what you said, Nico, but it's just a really big block. And it's hard to look at in LPC, which requires a lot of my focus. So hopefully you can understand. I'm going to try my best to get to it. I think we're talking about the business thing again. We can still try to do this fast, but geez, I just wasted so much time there. Ugh. I hate making mistakes like that. Okay, so Morris, you're kind of like me, 'cause that's how I feel. Puzzle skip and piggyback are really hard for no reason for me. I feel like I lose them and get them constantly. But to be honest, and I might sound like a dick, I'm gonna say it. I'm going to screw over people so I make money. The person selling it, and I say some fake stuff. You mind reading the rest of that for me, Liv, if you can? It's just hard to read that right now.
This is it.
Well, that's the people that I've seen who talk about this type of stuff, that's exactly their perspective. They have the same perspective that you have. It's their fault for not doing the research and knowing how much the items worth. Which is a fair perspective to have. But if you're a nice person, you kind of want to just be like, hey, you have this wrong, you can make so much more money. But in my opinion, with flipping, because we were talking about like business and stuff and how like it's hard being a nice person and succeeding with business. But I was saying that I feel like flipping is a little bit different because that's what the person thinks that something's worth. And I don't have a reason to tell them otherwise. I'm just gonna buy it for what they feel like it's worth. I'm not hurting them buying it for what they feel like it's worth. It's kind of like, what is the difference between a white lie and a, what's the other lie? I can't remember the way we title things sometimes. But like, you know, one way you're just outright lying. Other ways, you're not lying, you're just not telling. No one was requiring you to give an answer. So you're not wrong for just not giving them an answer. But if someone's like, hey, did you steal this and you stole that thing and you say no, you're just flat out lying. But if nobody asked you,
this is it,
and you don't tell, that's different. So I feel like that's kind of the perspective with that whole flipping scenario. Like, you're at the point where you have to adapt that mindset if you want to succeed with some business ideas. But some business ideas I've thought about over the years are worse than others. I feel like they kind of hurt people more, which is why I felt uncomfortable with doing some of them. But the flipping I feel okay with, which is why I'm the most interested in. Oh, my double jump got so eaten right there. No, dude, that was so bad. No, I practiced this so hard yesterday and I messed it up right now. I was about to mention that I practiced it. I'm still okay.
This is it.
Oh yeah, I was still good, but... Oh wait, what am I doing? Why did I get all that health? I actually don't want that. It's okay to take damage there in a way, because I kind of want to have one health for this, so I can hurt myself here and try to do the one health rat strat. I don't usually go for it because it's kind of risky. but it should be okay. I'll try to go for it. Why not? I just gotta take damage over here. Like that. Okay, we'll get that with the next save. But yeah, I see what you mean, Nico. It's all about your perspective. You can think of it as, oh, I'm being mean to that person. But in reality, you're also just buying it for what they're selling it for. But there's nothing wrong with that. But like, I don't know if I want to explain some of the other ideas that I've thought about. Really good idea. Some of these are really good ideas if you're interested. I'm so used to doing the save technique. So I messed up. So one of the ideas, which is not mine, right? It was not an idea of mine, but it's a really good idea, but I didn't want to go through with it for, like, personal reasons. But, like... So, you know, like, the site Fiverr, where you can find, like, people doing certain tasks for, like, really cheap? Like, sometimes you can find someone doing, like, a really valued task for, like, $5. Sometimes they can be bad on there, sometimes they can be good, I've heard. I've never used it yet. But, basically, this business idea is to like play as a middleman, right? Or middle person. So you look for people who are looking for certain jobs that people on Fiverr would have or know how to do. And then you contact that person and you contact the person working on at Fiverr, and then you set up, you basically set up the whole contract. You're just the person negotiating everything and making the profit, because you know that that person is asking for more than what the person at Fiverr would be paid for, so you take the profit from the job. Hopefully I explained that in a way that makes sense. Not my idea, but a very good one about, you know, it can kind of turn into a little business with, like, you know, being a middle person. You're making more of the profit. And technically, the reason why I felt bad about it is because the person who's paying a lot for the job, they have no idea that you're paying someone super cheap, and they could have found that person super cheap. Right? They didn't find that person, but technically they might feel like they're not getting their money's worth because you went to someone much cheaper, if that makes sense, right? You went to someone much cheaper when they were expecting someone worth what they're giving you to do the job. So I feel like I felt really bad about going through with that, even though it's a really great idea.
Beautiful swamp. On these here parts. Everything that doesn't sink into the mud, that is.
Judging by the smell, I'd wager your bathtub sank in the mud long ago.
Well, it's not about lying to someone. It's you knowing someone thinks true is worth more. So at least with the idea I'm talking about. Like, for instance, if you see someone selling... What's a good example for a game, right? What's one of those games that you said was really expensive everywhere with, that you mentioned? So, like, let's say you find The Secret of Mana. That's SNES. You find someone selling The Secret of Mana. That game is worth a lot of money. So somebody is selling that game for $5 at a yard sale. You see that, and you're like, okay, this right here is worth way more than what this person's selling. I could tell them that, or I could buy it for $5 because that's what they think is worth, and sell it for a little bit less than what I know it's worth. That's kind of like the flipping idea I've thought about. Now I gotta shoot my mouth right now so I can do raps. Or catch up with chat after raps, because reading chat and doing raps is a big no. So. Although I do think I've gotten much better at raps, I'm not gonna lie. I might be able to make some tips for raps if I don't fail anymore.
Well,
Oh, I almost just fell right there because those shots missed.
You sure know how to shoot. Thanks a heap for the help.
Oh, you guys are talking a lot, so
Precisely.
I'm gonna miss what y'all saying. You mind reading me what Nico said up there with, if you can? Hey.
This is it.
So you're coin in a way? I wouldn't even discuss with them about it. I would be like, look. Like, I wouldn't discuss with the person. If I see something that I know is worth more, I'll just buy it and then be done with it. A smarter person and a not so nicer person would try to get it cheaper, because why not capitalize more off the product if you can get them to think that their product is bad. This is why it's hard to be nice and do this type of stuff, because you could easily make more money by not being nice. You can make someone think that the item that they're trying to sell is worse than it is, and get it down lower than they already have it as, and you know that it's worth much more. And you can get it even lower in a way. I've seen that done before too. But I probably wouldn't do that. I'm not a talkative person. I don't think I'm a, what do they call it? Like the skill in like Fallout. I can't remember what it's called, but I think it's barter. Where you can get someone to talk down their prices. I don't think that's a skill that I have. So I wouldn't be doing all that. What I would rather build is build a skill of knowing something's worth. So if I know something's worth, if I start doing research on items and I go to yard sales, I see items more often, and I start realizing, okay, this item is worth like this, I'll just keep that as a mental note for myself, and if I see more of that item, I will buy that item and know how much I can sell it for. So before I even buy the item, I already know how much profit I can make off of that purchase. If that makes sense. Well, Morris, the thing is, not everyone knows everything. Like, if I wanted to focus on gaming, right? I'm better at knowing what games are worth than the average person. Like, most people doing yard sales, a lot of the times they're getting rid of their kids' stuff like that. Like, people don't care about these items. They just want to get rid of them. So they're selling them for super cheap because they don't want to deal with the items anymore. So in a way, I'm doing them a favor by taking it off their hands for much cheaper and just getting it out of their way. But I know, when I buy this, I know that this game is worth more than that, so I'm gonna get profit. That's kind of how it works. Like, some people just don't know about the value of things. The skill of knowing what something's worth is like step one to buying and selling, not a skill at all. Well, to me, it's not a skill I call it a skill because it's not something everyone has. If you have to learn something, then I see it as a skill. Because it's something that will come in time. Like, the more I do something, the more I learn about things work. Because yes, I know a lot by default about games.
This is it.
But like, if I go to a place and they don't have games, I can do the same. I can learn how to do the same things for other items as well. If that makes sense.
Oh, wonderful. You brought me the precursor orbs. All right, I'll fix the bridge. But don't ask me to get involved with that creature again.
Oh, okay, I see. I'm trying to understand what your point is, because maybe it did fit, but it's just, I don't know. It's kind of like, you call something background knowledge. Selling things is kind of like having background knowledge. You want to have background knowledge of the topic at hand before you go into a debate or something. So with buying and selling, you want to have background knowledge about the items that you're going to be trying to flip. But I'm just saying that by default, with games, I'd probably have a better idea of what something's worth. Like, for instance, someone might be selling a black label of Jak and Daxter. I know for a fact, since I bought myself one from other people, what that's worth, and that I know for a fact that there's a store near me that sells those games for way cheaper than they're worth. And they know that it can be used for speedrunning. I feel like the reason why it was hard to find a black label at first, for me, was because a lot of people know that people are looking for a black label Jak, so they were upselling it. So like when Wit, at first Wit found a really good deal for me and got me like a black label version. Oh my gosh, and got me like a black label version for like 20, something like the 20 range. And you know, sometimes you can get a deal better than that, but that was like, I feel like they had it that high because they know that a lot of speedrunners are looking for this. And the one we got like came with everything included. So it had, you know, the case, the game manual. It was literally like a brand new Jak and Daxter. Oh, okay. No worries, Morris. Honestly, you're going to a good point, because morality is a big topic in philosophy. These types of discussions would be good in a philosophy class. I wonder, is there like a branch of philosophy that focuses on the business, morality of business? I feel like that would be such a really interesting topic for me, personally. Because every time I look into business ideas, I always feel like I'm struggling with morality, and I wonder, like, you know, how would the moral philosophies that I've learned about fit into this business perspective, this business idea? How would that work here? It's always something I think about. Because I can see someone trying to make the argument, if you know something's worth more, you know that you're going to give a lot of value to someone who knows that it's worth more, and you can be like, there's value in having a really proper business exchange. Someone might make that argument and be like, there's value in a true business exchange where everybody knows the true value of what they're buying and selling. There's meaning and value in that, so it's worth doing that to people to get to that exchange, to get to that type of exchange, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty normal. Kind of is how the world has to work, but I wonder, like, if anyone's thought about that type of stuff in a more moral way. Like, why is that excluded from a lot of morality discussions? Because, in a way, trading still has an impact on people. Oh, what's good? I wasn't even listening. I need to, like, actually start paying attention here. This hopefully starts getting more difficult. But these are interesting discussions, and I don't mind talking about them. I don't know, but it shouldn't be. Why do I always do a roll by mistake? Wow, second try, okay. Okay.
This is
The
it.
camera followed me out. Cool. It does sometimes. It's actually really cool because I've gotten so used to doing that trick without seeing it that it almost looks extremely weird to see my trick being done, to see Jack doing the motions I've learned to do without seeing him. Oh crap. Alright, I might be reading the chat a little bit slower here. This Hug 3 requires focus.
Precisely.
Oh! Okay, we have some time now. Oh yeah, I feel like some people are like that. Some people just go into this type of stuff with the mindset of screwing people over. Like, that's kind of... Like, I feel like once you start doing this stuff enough, you might start becoming that way. Because you see how much... Like, once money starts getting involved, you see how much money can be made. I feel like it gets a lot harder to be nicer with this type of stuff because you know how much money you can make, and you're not going to waste your time not making that money just because you want to be nice. Being nice doesn't pay the bills type of thing. If that makes sense. So I feel like that's why some people might just turn into that. Because you know that's part of the process. You become desensitized. What's the word? I think desensitization? No, that's not the word. But yeah, desensitized. I just really hated that word. You realize that that's part of the game. It's all a game. And that you have to play it to succeed. Yeah, don't hate the player, hate the game. You're just playing the game and you got screwed by the game, but if you understand things better, you won't get screwed by the game. This one is always so goddamn hard for me to hit. Oh, I thought he was gonna go that way. There you go. Yeah. And honestly, that's something that's always been really hard for me because I've always been like a really, really nice person. So like, I usually put other people above myself with decisions I've made. And sometimes I've regretted that, and sometimes I'm glad that I did. Like, a lot of the issues I've had with my peers growing up were because there are instances where I didn't stand up for myself because I didn't want to make the same selfish choices they were making. So I thought that I was making a point to myself and who I want to be by not making choices that they've made when I'm in similar situations. And that always turns out to hurt me in the end because they're not being impacted by... They're never being hurt. They're never seeing the consequences to their selfishness. But... I don't know if I'm explaining that, but hopefully that makes sense. If I never defend myself when people do things wrong to me because I don't want to be like they were, I'm always, in the end, I'm always the one getting hurt. Sounds like game theory. Oh my gosh, Judah. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing well. And hopefully your trip went well. I don't remember game theory right now. I remember learning about it, but I don't remember what it is. But I remember it being something really interesting and social. And I remember liking learning about it, but the math seemed like way over my head. The math was complicated, but the idea of it was fascinating. That's what I remember about game theory. Well, I'm glad it went well. But yeah, like, it seems like if you don't play the game that other people are playing, you're always the one who seems like you're at the end. You're always the one seeming like you made a poor choice. And that's kind of like what I struggled with a lot growing up. It was really hard for me to play the social games that people played. I didn't understand them. Sometimes I still don't. But I felt like in the end, I was always the one hurt by those choices, because I didn't want to do what the other person did to me. I didn't want to do the same thing back. But when the circumstances would come to where it made sense for me to do that thing, I would always choose not to, and that would benefit no one. Definitely wouldn't benefit. It would benefit them, but not me. But what good does that do for me? Nothing, right? It does well for my conscience and who I feel like I want to be. Like, I don't want to be a person who takes advantage of people or hurts people for their own gain. I don't want to be that kind of person. But in the end, when you look at the grand scheme of things, I'm only hurting myself by making those choices. So sometimes it can be really hard to come out of those situations feeling like we learned something or benefited in some way.
Precisely.
If that makes sense. When I'm not doing Hub 3, I would love to talk more about that type of stuff. Because right now, I don't think that's the best type of discussion. Because I can get super deep about that type of stuff. Let me just say, I feel like I made a lot of choices that, in the end, only would help me feel. Never mind, I don't even know how to word that. Hopefully, you know what I mean.
This is it.
I was gonna ask you what she said about it. Went bad. That was almost bad. Yikes! That first shot missed, and I do not like missing that first shot at that crate. Oof, I thought that was like too close to the edge there, that I was gonna fall into the lava for a second. But he somehow did not.
This is it.
Not the best cycle here, but it's alright. Not this camera! Oh, I love that cutscene there. That was so beautiful. I love it.
This is it.
I have a gondola split, right? Because I don't want to look at my splits, but I have a gondola split. Okay. I just want to make sure because I can't remember if I got rid of the gondola one as well, but I didn't. I think I should keep the gondola one because it's a good way to know that, okay, I'm about to start snowing. Yeah, yeah. But I didn't like the LPC one and the beginning of Basin one. I didn't really want those anymore, so I'm glad those are gone. I just can't. I'll think about that after. Depending on how this goes, I might actually take a break after this run. No. Crack myself up.
This is it. This is it.
Hey, I see you in the chat, but I'm probably not going to be reading it. I just need to focus here. This isn't good anymore, but I'm going to take this way just to make sure that's it. I should have ground pounded.
This is it.
Hey, Gordy, I think we got visitors.
You think, Willard?
Howdy, strangers. Passing through. Us too. Well, we gotta be moving on. Nothing I see here.
That was extremely random, Nico.
You said this was a priceless gem worth... Willard!
Actually, we want power cells, not gems.
We got 4 of them.
I don't really like loud noises either.
What Brain here is trying to say is, we may have a few power cells laying around, and we might be willing to part with them for 90 orbs each.
Where have I heard that before? Hey, how do you two geniuses expect to get that big gem out of here anyway?
Well, smarty pants, we got 12 more years of digging to figure that out. Gordy.
Hey, Alec, how you doing?
Last time have you done too?
Hopefully you're doing well today.
Oh, all right already. Here's a power cell for those orbs of yours. Oh, all right already. Here's a power cell for those orbs of yours. Oh, all right already. Here's a power cell for those orbs of yours.
What makes you like sushi, Alec? Because I tried it in like a Japanese restaurant. Like I think it was like a hybrid Asian restaurant that had like Chinese food, Japanese food, Korean food, like tons of different types of food. And like for some reason, I didn't really like the sushi I tried. It was my first time trying sushi, and like there was one. It was like one part of it wasn't good, but the rest of it was. It was very weird. I don't know which part of it I didn't like, but it didn't taste good to me at all. But it was just that one part. The rest of it, I felt like I could have eaten. But like, you can't just take a part of the sushi out. That's not gonna work. So like, I felt bad about that because like, I didn't want to like go there and not eat everything. But like, I can't eat certain things if I don't like it.
Seek the pure light, for within
Hey,
its
Silver
flame,
Shadow.
the answers
Welcome to the
reside.
stream. Hopefully you're doing well today.
You can gain my power cells by bringing 120 precursor orbs for each. You have obtained another power cell.
I think that I might be the type of person that can like some sushi, but not all sushi. I just don't know what that some is.
A power cell is the reward.
So I'm glad you like it though, Alec. As long as you like it, that's all that matters. Really? It was that hard to die? Yikes. No, dude, are you freaking kidding? Okay, freak it, we're not going for it this time. I hate when I mess that up. It's so dumb. Oh my gosh, that emo Alec.
Alright! With these additional power cells, I should be able to supply the heat shield with enough power to stand up to this lava. But the shield still has a limit. It will now withstand temperatures up to 800 degrees, but no more. So keep an eye on your gauge. I don't want to think about what those temperatures would do to your zoomer if the shield gives out.
Yeah, the heat.
What? The zoomer? Hey, what about us? Don't you think we could look for a safer route to go, Citadel?
Look, I've released more cooling balloons into the tube, so you can use them to keep the temperature down. And don't forget to activate the teleport gate in the Yellow Sage's lab. We're counting on you.
You don't know what it is, but you eat the same thing every time. Fair enough. Gonna play a safe guy. Hey Jag, how you doing? By the way, Jag, I don't look at my splits, so I don't know how good it is right now, so I'm just trying to play it slow. I don't know if anyone doesn't know that.
This is it!
And hey Nadine, how you doing? Appreciate you and Jag both stopping by.
This is it!
Okay. Typical spot for old save game was evaded. Oh, freak, dude. I went to the wrong spot like an idiot. that's where I was supposed to go. Just pretend that didn't happen. Really? Oh wait, no, I could have saved it, dude. Oh my freaking god. If I choke now. Dude, what the frick? I don't know how much of this I can save anymore. There we go. There we go. That was dumb. I don't know how much time that wasted. Probably a lot. That was so goddamn stupid. I never do that. Well, we can try to salvage this. I don't know how well we're going to be able to. We're going to try our best. That's not a good start. But, welcome back again, Mike. That was a good cycle, so that might help us back. That might help us bring some time back. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not going to be looking at the chat too much. I don't know why, but I'm like extremely nervous today. So no matter how this run ends, I might have to take a little break after.
Precisely.
Okay. Whip, let me know what's going on, Pila, Nadine, and I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm here for you and support you. And I appreciate everything you've done and how you still show up despite whatever's going on. But I hope you know that I appreciate and support you.
This is it.
Right now, I'm much more nervous than I usually ever am, and I'm not too sure why, which is why I can't talk. But just know that I appreciate you all, whoever's here. I'm literally not even looking at the chat at all. I've never felt like this nervous before when I'm in Citadel, and I don't know why, so I'm gonna try to keep my mouth shut and try to stay calm. They pricked me. It's another nervous thing. Oh my gosh, this cycle's good.
This is it. This is it. Different on the CRT, I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a lot different. Like the way I was used to doing it, like where I was just spamming obsessively, doesn't work. No! I'm freaking choking. God dang it, stop!
Finish the robot once and for all!
This is okay though, we're good. We're okay. Dude, why am I this nervous? This is not normal. I usually am feeling really good here. Does anything, it's just a habit.
You just won't give up.
Dude.
Right, ego. It does exist.
They must not be allowed to get it.
Light ego! That could be the stuff to change me back! Or might stop that robot. Stay fuzzy, save the world. Choices. Okay, fine. We'll save the world. But do it quickly before I change my mind.
No roll jumping.
Congratulations.
I lost so much time, but that's still a PB. Okay, we're that much closer to a sub 150. Thank you for the GGs and the congrats, y'all. Yeah, I really so like I lost more time in Lava Tube. I actually didn't even realize. But oh my god, that was like, I was like super nervous. Yeah, I did lose a lot of time, Citadel, yeah.
I've been too hard on you boys. You do.
But we still PB'd, and we gotta take it one step at a time. Thank you guys so much for the GGs and the congrats.